New tonight, 3 U.S. Navy sailors have died by suicide in the last 16 days, and they were part of the same command. Multiple sources tell 10 on Your Side's investigative team the sailors were assigned to the Mid-Atlantic Regional Maintenance Center at Naval Station Norfolk. 10 on Your Side's Michelle Wolf joins us from the WAVY newsroom with more on their deaths and what a civilian psychologist found when she was called in to help. Michelle?
Tom, the most recent suicide happened this past Monday night. The big question posed by the civilian psychologist we spoke with is, why are these suicides happening with the Brandon Act passed and with sailors who have never seen combat? It was not unusual for Counselor Kayla Arestivo to get a call from a contact at Naval Station Norfolk asking her to come in on Monday for a mental health stand-down. What was unusual, however, was the reason why the stand-down was called.
They were having a mental health stand-down following and the reaction of 2, at the time, suicides.
Typically, a mental health stand-down is an informative measure required by the Navy once a year. It gives sailors information about the resources available to them and a chance to talk with a professional. Arestivo tells us she spoke with 1,500 sailors from Mid-Atlantic Regional Maintenance Center on Monday, about half of the limited duty command. She says later that night, a third sailor died by suicide. That sailor was planning on attending a stand-down on Wednesday, but never made it. Arestivo believes fault lies with the command.
They either were unaware or they thought it wasn't important. And so regardless of what happened, if you are in a place of leadership and you have 3 people under your leadership that die by suicide, that kill themselves in 16 days, you have some ownership.
Arestivo believes there isn't enough of a focus on mental health in the military, despite the Brandon Act being passed.
It should not be one time a year that we focus on mental health.
The Brandon Act was signed into law by President Joe Biden in December 2021. The law ensures service members are provided assistance if they tell their command they're struggling, and the command is responsible for making sure they get the help they need without retaliation. The act was named after Brandon Caserta, who died by suicide in 2018 at Naval Station Norfolk.
It's got to stop. When is enough enough? How many more have to die for anybody to do anything about it, to actually do something about it?
Terry and Patrick Caserta, who pushed the legislation through in honor of their son Brandon, says the biggest obstacle with the military has been implementation of the Brandon Act and a culture of toxicity. Arestivo agrees.
It is systemic issues. It is quality of life. That they are overworked, they are undervalued. We don't talk about things. We've got stigmas. We can't change war. We can't change combat. And we all go, oh, like, thank you for serving our country. Agreed. But if you're dying for this reason, we can't keep overlooking it. And I'm not going to let it.
A Department of Defense report released in 2021 reveals 519 service members died by suicide, with young enlisted male service members found to be at greatest risk. We've reached out to the Navy for comment and have not heard back. In the WAVY newsroom, Michelle Wolf, 10 on Your Side.